And I'm also very conscious about looking like an elephant.
As am I conscious about looking like an elephant. Even though neither of us are elephants.
So they followers were sending us questions, and I do know that you do want me to write properly. So this morning when you dropped the kids at school, I tried my very best to write in beautiful handwriting the questions from the followers.
Amazing. I don't know what to be more excited about, the handwriting or the questions.
And how long are we doing that?
How long are we doing?
Right now. Like for how long should we talk and answer?
How many questions have we got? Are we answering all these questions? Or are we saving some?
I would say we say a time, and then see how many we have answered, and can do the rest another time when we are willing to do it another time afterwards.
Well, we didn't set up our stopwatch, so we don't know how long this is going to take. And I now have one question. So please hear the premise. I take a question out, I read it, and you answer.
No, maybe you first. That would be nice.
So you read the first question.
No, you just got it and you answered first.
I answer my own question.
Yeah, I'd say so. Unless you want that I answered first.
That's perfectly fine. So the first question doesn't say who it's from, unfortunately, so we cannot shout you out. What are you doing to make the other happy? Now I need to ask again, am I answering this question or are you answering this question?
Whatever you want. You're an adult, like I am. You can make your own decisions.
Well, I've asked the question, so the other person can answer.
To make you happy.
What are you doing to make the other person happy?
At the moment, frankly honest, nothing actively. I think for a long while. That's not completely true, because on your birthday, knowing that you're not a birthday person, I basically forced myself, and I know it sounds horrible, but it's what I was feeling, and I shared it with you. I didn't feel great about sharing with you that I do not want to celebrate your birthday, as I have nothing to give to anyone. But I did force myself, and I think at the end, when we ended up in the restaurant, it was nice. So that's definitely something I did for you. But besides that, on a daily basis at the moment, nothing where I think I'm doing that right now in order to make you happy. That's the reality right now. And by the way, they call me Ushi. What are they calling you?
Bonaparte?
I called you Ushi's husband when I was collecting the questions.
Okay.
But Bonaparte is amazing. What about you, Bonaparte? What are you doing to make me happy?
First off, hello, I'm Bonaparte. First time doing this. What am I doing to make the other happy? The other being Ushi. I am doing... I don't know what I'm doing. I make you tea every morning. I still forget in the evenings. I attempt to lessen the burden, I think, of what you take on a daily basis. Yeah, I think they're the main things. I attempt to try and make things a bit easier, which you vocalise you're not happy with. So that's my premise. If you remove things you're unhappy with, or that in theory, from my perspective, is a way to make you more happy. Another question.
What's the second thing you like about each other?
The second thing.
Yeah. I answer first, if you want.
You can answer it first, but I'm wondering why it's the second thing.
I think it's nice because you
Yeah.
have to think more.
Yeah, then I have to work out what the first thing is.
It was definitely another question. Like many ask, like what do you love about each other? It's like,
Okay.
I didn't put this in.
Okay.
No
Yeah. We didn't want to upset you all.
The second thing I like about you is that in your own time, Ming, you don't forget something. Like basically no matter what, if it's something which needs to, or something which I have addressed, I want or think what needs to happen, you do not forget about it at the end. So I feel like you take me serious.
Comprende. What is the second thing I like about Ushi? I like many things about Ushi. That's why I keep bothering her and hanging around. And she's very driven.
I'm not Ushi, by the way.
You're not Ushi.
No, there's social media.
Hmm?
Like in our life.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
It feels a bit weird for me too.
I'm very confused who Ushi is. I've never met Ushi before, but yeah. Second thing I like, this is, yeah, like I said, very driven. I think I like that very much. And opinionated. I think that's a unique trait to have, but I'm very laissez-faire about most things, so it's good to have someone who carries a stronger opinion on things in day-to-day life. So yeah, that's definitely something I very much like about my wife, I'll call her. Okay, my turn. Okay, I'm not sure if we're going fast or slow, but we'll have to read your feedback.
You forgot to say that they have to ask them to share and like the video and subscribe.
Yeah, we can add that at the end. Whose culture do you follow more in everyday life? Ooh. You answered your question first, so I'll go first. I think it's a very tricky one. If I'm honest, I think we both follow our own, but we just see where we get. I'm also quite stuck on the culture element. Because I think, yeah, it's what aspects of culture. I think in terms of, I think it's more natural personality traits that feed into that culture more than anything else. I think I nearly called you by your real name there. But she is more, yeah, very, I think I'm allowed to say this now because I lived there for a few years. Very German in the sense that what is written down on the piece of paper, so the rules are typically what need to be followed, whereas I have a very much more relaxed opinion on this. Like for meetings, for example, I think, especially now we moved to Spain, a 2 o'clock meeting in Germany means you get there at 1:45. I think in Spain means you can rock up at 2:30, in my world means 5 minutes past 2 is fine. I think depending on who organised the meeting, you can understand what time we would arrive there, and typically how everyone would be feeling about arriving there. But on day to day, I think we take bits from each other's culture, which I think works for our family. I would say we don't have Abendbrot, so I think that's something taken from my culture. So we choose not to have Abendbrot. I think we very much have dinner. But yeah, other aspects of culture. So I think walking or ensuring we do something active on the weekends is very much, I think, Josephine's culture and upbringing. Whereas mine would be more so if I have a sporting activity to do, I go to that, and then it's a case of chilling out or relaxing after that, and not really organising things so that you have to fill every minute of every day. I hope I've answered that question.
Would you mind to check if it's still recording?
It's still recording.
You see that?
It's recording. Can I check if it's still recording us? Yes, it's still recording.
Please, and some more water.
12 minutes.
Thank you. My answer to the question is that I lived in Andrew's family's house for a year, and I spot so many things there I really, really like the sharing of things, and also there when we were there, but you said it was unique, there were 2 family meetings. You said this was new.
No, yeah.
And I loved it, like really that everyone sat there and was allowed to share their opinion, but they weren't different. And I remember the first time I was shy about it because I thought I'm just a partner basically. I also felt a bit weird because I've been already a proper adult living my life, and then I moved to a family house. And also I didn't have my job at this time, so I was pregnant, so it was all a bit, what am I allowed to say and what not, even though it gave me this impression, but this was, and I remember it was really nice the second time I allowed myself to say exactly what I wanted, and it felt amazing. And it's something I do not know at home how this feels when you really are heard and can say how you need it. And not talking emotionally about your feelings, but really things how you need it. I need to use the toilet and you do this before please, or I really like that. And we had it once, a meeting like that with our kids, I remember. And it's something, obviously they're very young, I definitely look forward to I would say that's not something which comes from any of our cultures, because I was not brought up like that, but it's something which is these days an important thing, that you hear your children, that they have a right to speak as well, and have the right to have an opinion, and that they can influence our daily life. Basically, they do it anyways. And that's something I think that comes from me, that need. And basically the biggest challenge is how we both meet with how we want to raise them. That's something which we have not talked before, we were just busy making them. And that's, in my opinion, the biggest challenge on a daily life. And besides that, exactly how you said, like how serious do you take appointments, task, and all of that stuff. I want the day structured basically from the moment it starts until the end. And you don't, and that a compromise does not really work. I think it would be really nice if we would basically say what days it's your style and what days mine.
Well,
we haven't tried that yet.
Well, I'm very happy that we didn't answer the question, in my opinion, neither of us, but we will move on to the next one. That question was too hard.
Do you want to keep it on the side for later?
Yeah, we'll keep that one on the side, and then hopefully we can work out how to answer that one properly. Which child tested your relationship mostly? I think you have to answer. You meant to pick, but you have to answer that question.
Yeah, I would
In your
never say
opinion?
which child, and it's also not the child. Of course, we would now straight away name a name, and I think it might be the same, but I would never say it like that because it's not the child. It's the circumstances of the time where this child was made, and whilst it was in my belly, and then in what situation we were. And I can definitely say, without meaning it negative in any way about our precious little princess, that this was for me definitely the most challenging time. Like to make space for another child.
Mm-hmm.
Was this the question this time?
Which child tested? Yeah, I think I would echo that. I don't think it was the aspect of the child, but more so in each scenario, just introducing a new human and personality into the world, and whilst we're each individually going through our own journeys as individuals and as a collective, as a group. So I think our relationship's always tested, regardless. But yeah, throwing extra small people into the mix always creates new challenges and new tests. So yeah, no one child, but I seem to be picking up questions now. I'm going to continue to do this.
I have one thing to add to this one, because I think most parents, I just assume, with many children, agree that there's a huge difference to even how you share the pregnancy or how you feel about it from 1 to 2 to 3, maybe 4 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it not sad, I find it just this is how life is. It's just very different.
Yeah, I think that's in general though. I think everyone, I remember talking to a lot of other children, so we both families with 3 children from my household. I think I remember talking to someone at work, it's the exact same thing. You first child you have 1,000 pictures of, second child you have 100, the third child you have 10. I think the energy is consistent. That's an interesting question. Are you more friends or lovers? It seems either or. Is there a third choice?
You can, of course,
Oh.
say what we are in your own words.
No, the question is friends more or lovers. So I don't know today.
It's more friendly than all of the rest of the days right at this moment.
She is a lot more friendly today to me. But are we more friends or lovers? So we're very rarely friends, so I would say we're more lovers. That's
When
my
we met
opinion.
as friends for many, many years.
That's what. Yeah, friends with baggage, with children for many years. No, I would genuinely say. Josephine's not really keen on
So you
being.
didn't marry your best friend?
Josephine's not keen on being my friend. So we are more, in my opinion, we are more lovers.
Andrew didn't understand what the woman said when we got married.
It was
You signed up to deep friendship
no, we are.
and passionate lovers.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I say we're more lovers. So yeah, that's my answer. We're more lovers than friends. If those are the 2 options.
I think for a long while we are very, very unfriendly roommates.
Okay, so we're more lovers then. Friends or lovers?
With how many roommates did you sleep?
It's friends or lovers. That was the option.
It's lovers. Lovers, it sounds so wrong in my English. Say it in English.
Lovers.
It sounds like from Saxony. Lovers. We
Yeah.
are proper lovers.
Here we go.
No, but what I want to say is, this is our problem, that we are
lovers.
Because this doesn't bring you the tools in order to survive and do daily life with just task and kids needs. A really good friendship foundation is very, very necessary.
So we'll work on the friendship, guys. We'll work on the friendship aspect and see how it goes. What motivates you to continue the marriage? Your question. I'm reading questions. You answer.
It's not
You answer this
Oh,
one first.
right.
I'll answer the last one first.
okay.
So, what motivates you to continue the marriage?
I can't really honestly say that I feel lots of motivation. Besides that, I do not want to personally give up on the picture perfect frame of two adults, two parents under one roof, being mommy and daddy, happily
Ever after?
ever after. That's basically my motivation in general. It's not my motivation, it's what stops me from trying out something else for a long while. And this sounds maybe harsh, but it's basically I cannot be rational. So about anything which is about feelings or relationships, and so many suggest first thing people say is don't expect a relationship level whilst the kids are young. So basically that's the trick to go through that. That is, I believe 100% in it. If you are able to put your relationship needs behind, I think you manage very smoothly and well. But I struggle on a daily basis with it. So at the end of the day, I tell myself, tomorrow I'm just nice, and then the day starts and I'm just not. So I don't think I can say personally motivation. That is not true as well. Of course, I'm motivated that we are nice with each other, but marriage is something I want to leave open.
Okay.
I'm 100% motivated to be as kind as possible to each other and to learn how to do family, basically. Because marriage, I do not know. It's so abstract to me.
Okay, what motivates you to continue the marriage? I think just the motivation that we chose to be married. I think, and the reasons we chose to become married, we didn't do it to enter into a contract. We did it because we wanted to spend our lives together. We wanted to bring up children together, and yeah, we wanted to learn from each other and find new things and accomplish new things as individuals. And I think we must have identified that the other person could help us with that. And yeah, so I'd say that's what motivates me to continue the marriage.
So things from the past, basically.
No, I think not even things from the past, to things, things which are going to happen in the future. I think that's life continues going, so that's what motivates me. So
But what I hear from both of us is that we do not find ventures in daily life from the now.
we do not.
Ventures, is this an English word? We don't find reasons in like now. What I heard just from you is basically from our dream we shared, or goals, or like values. But that's something we've agreed to in the past, basically the moment when we decided to have kids.
No.
No?
I think I answered that question perfectly.
Yeah, but you see that I do not understand. I took it wrong what you just said, obviously.
I don't know how to rephrase it.
I got sad the moment when I heard that you motivate basically yourself from the deal we have?
No, nothing to do with deals. It's what it says. What motivates you? So what motivates me? What motivates me is to achieve what I set out when I decided to marry you. To improve myself, to improve you, to improve the children we have. To improve our friendship, which we're going to be working on, as we're only lovers. All of those things motivate me to make the other person happy, was she happy, to make myself happy. Those are all the things that motivate me, and that's why I per se continue. That was a loaded question. That was. I don't know what you're telling your
I think
friends.
they want to know for their own.
Oh, okay.
Most of them, because it's very hard to motivate yourself when you basically
of course.
so
I
empty.
think.
And I personally would love to hear, which I know is fantasy. It's because no one else smiles like you. That's what motivates me. I cannot breathe without you. Like, honestly, that's BS right now.
We need
and
to.
I'm glad you answered honestly.
We need to work on these phrasing of the questions then, because they seem very led. Okay, how much time do the two of you really spend talking? I'm gonna go first on this one. Talking or sharing your opinion with the other person? Because I think we do that a bit more than talking at the minute. How long do we spend talking? Is this like a time frame?
I think so, like 1 week.
In a week?
In a week?
That is really, really crazy. I would say, honestly,
Yeah.
like actual talking where we're in dialogue,
They
I'd
want
say like
honest.
30 minutes a day if we're lucky.
What? When?
I think so. 30 minutes a day.
Talking, like right now.
Okay, I've been wildly. Yeah, let's 15 minutes a day
I
talking.
think we could give classes for happy marriages if we would talk 30 minutes a day.
15 minutes? No, we do talk. But I would say
I'm glad you feel it that way.
15. Okay, I started at 30. 10 minutes a day talking, but we are communicating.
But talking, the question is about talking.
Talking, yeah.
Like they all shout each other. Sorry, but if someone doesn't, it's really nice for them. Or blame each other.
No, but I'm doing the average of the week. So we often have at least 2 or 3 times in the week where we're having a talk, having a dialogue.
Friendly dialogue.
We're not friends, Josephina. We're working on that. We've established this. We talk in order to build our friendship. So that's what we do. But I would honestly say 10 minutes a day. If you average it, that's about an hour.
This sounds wonderful.
Okay.
I definitely believe this because we are both that have a tendency to see things more negative than they are. So I'm happy to hear that. For me it feels like at the moment there's basically just sharing our own opinion, or basically also like competing or confronting each other with mistakes the other person did.
Well, not necessarily confront. I think a lot of the time we talk to each other. It's about to share something which effectively needs to be done. It's not. It's all.
It's the first thing in the morning often instead of good morning.
Yeah, it tends to be objective driven. Like the kids have swimming today, so is this and this done, or are you doing that so I can do this? So that is not talking. So that's why I say 10 minutes a day. If you average the other stuff, what's your opinion on that? How much time?
1 minute a day.
Just we have the 1 minute. So that's
like my definition of talking. That's like when I talk to a friend on the phone. that that's a conversation, or like what we do right now is a conversation, sharing information or sharing frustration, not in a conversation, but just one road. What do you call it?
One way, yeah.
In one way
traffic, yeah.
is for me not talking.
Okay. Yeah, that's only. I don't believe that is either. That's why I said I averaged it across the week. Right. How was the time in Germany? Is this question only for me? Or
It's for
how
both
was
of
the
us.
time in Germany? I really know how to quantify that. Well, we moved to Germany. I think it was very much. I don't know if you shared. It was very much a toss up of move somewhere else in the UK, as we kind of wanted to change from where we were living, just to go a bit more of a slower pace, and quite fortunately there was quite a few roles in Germany which allowed me to continue to speak English, and still work. And yeah, I think initially it was quite exciting when we looked at it from a family balance. Germany is a lot more inviting to parents than the UK was, especially London, in terms of costs. But then there's also the element of immersing yourself into a new culture. So where we initially moved to Germany, we were, I think, very much in the suburbs, outskirts, which for me was, on the surface, was quite fun. I enjoyed we had a big garden, we had a big house. I think we had different dynamics of what that life was. I used to go to work for 9-10 hours every day and then turn up again. So I probably did appreciate coming home to that environment. And then we moved into the city, which again, for me, it was still quite fun. We moved into a complex where it was very much families, a lot like us, a lot of, I would call, nomads, individuals who had moved into Berlin for work reasons, and typically did bounce around, so were not rooted in one place. It was very international. Again, it meant it was very tricky for me to learn German, as the primary language we all spoke was English. Even the Germans, a lot of them worked for companies where they were speaking English on a day-to-day basis.
Some of them spoke English in their private time with their kids.
Yeah.
Or German delivery.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, we had some. But I think that was the dynamic of especially Berlin, the dynamic of the city. It's very much one of those cities where it's so international. I think English is almost the first language of the city. It's crazy to say that for a German capital. It almost made it easier for the Germans to speak English certain times.
Decided the Brit who moved to the country that English is the first language.
No, of Berlin, yes, I will stand by that. But yeah, the question is, how was the time? Yeah, I think it was eventful. We had village life, we had COVID, we had a new baby, we had anything other milestones we want to share, which we had in our time in Berlin.
I had creative writing classes.
Creative writing classes.
Which I loved.
Yeah, which were.
Until COVID destroyed them.
COVID, yeah. But yeah, in general, it's definitely not a negative experience. I think it was definitely a fun experience. It was a learning curve.
Why did you not stay then?
I'm trying to catch up on all the the staying in one place I did as a adolescent. So yeah, I think London's one of those cities you can very easily stay in one place and experience a lot. So I'm very keen to open up my footprint on the world. So yeah, Germany was first on the list. We're now in Spain. We'll see how long we're here. I'm hoping we're here for a bit longer than our usual average. So yeah, I would say at times Germany was nice. It was, for me, it was nice to immerse myself in a new culture.
In Brandenburg.
Yeah, Brandenburg too. I think, I can say.
You feel very excited about it.
So that's the thing. I think that's a really important thing to do in general. Like I say, London's a massive city, but also at the same time, everyone is in their own little echo chamber. I was very much immersed in my culture of how I was brought up, even though there's so many different cultures around. They feed into my culture, but it was nice to be in a completely different culture that was Germany, and even the multiple cultures I introduced myself in Germany. You talked about Brandenburg when we lived there for a bit, and then we also had moved to Berlin at a time when there was a lot of international traffic and cultural changes and socio-economic changes in Berlin. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked having that perspective of the new city.
Did you see that we both basically like the same, but unfortunately we couldn't have it at the same time? Because the way how you were excited about moving into that house in Brandenburg, I was excited about moving to Preston. Preston? No. What?
Prison?
No, not Preston. At the coast.
We haven't.
What's my little
Brighton.
Brighton. Or I love Brighton, but I know there were many. I also was thinking of Manchester for us, and I had the same level of excitement, both in our own excitement languages, and I wished we would have done it. Because for both of us, the moment moving to Brandenburg, that's basically where I came from. Not Brandenburg, but very similar. And it's not a place where I want to be with my family. And when we were in London, and I was basically begging you that we move somewhere else in England, because I didn't want to go back to Germany, that would have been your biggest nightmare to do that.
Okay.
Or you definitely didn't want to, don't you think?
I was on the fence. So, in answer to your question, how was your time in Germany?
I feel like you really.
No, I'm being serious.
But I would love to talk about that with you. We couldn't have that. On the same time, the excitement, and that's why we were not able to share it. I was excited when we were in London, and I'm still about London, and not London, Central London, but England in general, UK, and you like Germany, where I didn't feel good. So basically, it's the first time right now. What we also said, it's almost like we need a neutral country. We need a neutral base. Because one doesn't agree the moment we're in one of our countries.
No, yeah, we definitely.
It's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, no, we definitely had developed conceptions of places in our own respective countries that I think took away from us seeing the bigger picture. So yeah, I would definitely agree with that. But they want to know how you.
My time in Germany.
Yes, how you.
I had zero need to come back to Germany. I was happy to leave it when I left it, and that's not me making a hate speech about Germany. It's just so where we live right now here is something we've been ignorant about. We basically moved to the second Mallorca for Germans, and now when I leave the house here, I basically have to find my way to not to crush into German-speaking German out loud. And it's something which is soothing for me not to hear Germans, because I disagree about many opinions Germans share. And I do not say that opinions from other countries or other people I agree with, but they don't get into my mind like that. I can just put them away. And as I'm inhaling basically everything which I see in a circus of 100 meters, it's very hard for me to focus. And that's why, so for example here, when the people walked along, like what we had, the situations already, or when it feels like, yeah, when they stopped to stare. And also we know that there have been already comment, which we didn't like. And that's something, when it's in English or in other language, I can just put it away like that. So I did love to speak to my German girlfriends in German, because it's so much more relaxing than like in my mother tongue, to have proper conversation. Real talks. But I also had German friends in London, and I will not regret anything on this learning curve or journey we've been in Germany on, but for me it feels like basically it's a whole journey of learning for us. So when does the relaxing part happen?
So how do we summarize our time?
My time in Germany.
Yes.
The time in Germany is basically where I set up again a new professional life for me, because I stopped my long route of 10 years working for or doing editoring. So that's definitely, I found myself professionally again in Germany, and I got my baby girl, and I found new friends.
What is the biggest support from the other person? How did they last one first?
The biggest support at the moment is that we basically made it happen without yet celebrating it. That it's not one job where the other one has to work around. Is that right now it's the first time since we became parents, which we became very, very early since we met, after we met. So now basically it's really both self-employed. We agree that we want to work on 4 days a week, not 5. At the moment I get more space for my work projects, which I was basically queuing or waiting for a while, because before our daughter was born, only a few weeks before you started a new job, and since then for me it was just basically like I have to do for what needs to be done in order for that. It was a third time with a very, very tiny human, when already I was before starting to feel like an adult again, because I had both boys in nursery, and then all of a sudden everything happened again, and I didn't take this lightly at all. So that's a big support that you agreed that we do that. And like honestly said, it was basically the only option, and if you would have not done it, I don't know what would have happened, and I'm very glad that we agreed to do it and try it, even if it makes us still fight every day. But that's because I think we moved country. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you okay with Mike? Because I have the feeling you're not so happy with the way how I answer my
My
question.
biggest support that I quit my job.
Can you say something to you before they move? No, really.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm too relaxed. It's a dangerous game. Right, what is the biggest support from the other person? Yeah, I think the driven nature. I don't know if I had a second on the things I like about her, but I would also agree that that's a big support, keeps me motivated. So as we said, I'm very task orientated. You might not know, or I might not know when the task will be done, but very much you let me know and you ask me to execute it, I will do it. So it sounds very, very methodical. But yeah, I do like the driven nature, and I see that as a big support. I think I'm a notoriously big kid. I'm very easily distracted. If you look on my laptop, I have 4 million tabs open, but I'm working through all of them. But I think
He's the only living person who can really multitask, by the way.
yeah, I'm amazing at it. But yeah, I would say I'd see that driven nature and that focus as a big support, because it ensures we get some stuff done rather than 2 million things done at 5% or 10%.
Can I have one question as well?
Yeah, of course, you go for it.
Okay. How many do we still want to do?
Do we do 2 more?
Because I have the feeling
Yeah.
we're getting a bit grumpy.
Yeah.
And then they want.
You want energy.
I think they want energy.
You want excitement. Well, this is my first coffee of the day, and it's like nearly 11 o'clock. So
Should we use this
That's
as the
nice,
last one for today?
yeah, well, you could go last. Go to pick another one. Oh, we're gonna.
And what are we
This is
doing?
the very last one.
What are we doing afterwards?
I'm gonna phone the internet.
Because
Very practical.
we don't have internet yet here.
Yeah, I'm gonna phone the internet.
I order every day.
That's right.
Okay. Who are you and what are you doing?
Okay, it's a good one to close with. Who am I? I'm Bonaparte. And what am I doing? I'm attempting to keep everyone happy. I want everyone to feel happy and excited to be here. Yeah, that's definitely. I think we will take advantage of the fact that we're all here. So I definitely am very keen for everyone, my family, to appreciate the time they have with each other, and continue to appreciate that. Never take it for granted. And to provide. I think that's also a very important aspect of what I have to attempt to do, and that's not financially. It's
No?
Oh no, well obviously financially I do work, but I think
Did you
provide.
stop wanting that?
No,
when we
I'm
moved
talking
here?
about provide in the sense of not just a financial aspect, provide in the aspect of support and encouragement and belief. So yeah, that's me.
And friendship.
Friendship we're working on, we'll get there. We'll baby steps. We're great lovers at the moment.
They
So.
want to know if you provide as a lover.
Of course. There's no question on that one. Like I said, we work on the friendship and then everything's rosy. And how about you? Would you like me to read the question again? Who are you and what are you doing?
I am Bonaparte's wife. I'm still waiting for the wedding. I never give up on that. Should always keep your dreams. This topic is the killer of everything.
What?
This topic.
Okay.
And I bring it up all the time.
Yeah, well, is this how you wanted to close the call?
No, I didn't want to.
Okay.
I can just not control what I say.
No, so.
What am I doing? I spend my time thinking and thinking and thinking, and since 8 years thinking about what's the best, for our family, how do we want to live, what do we want to do, what do we need, and what could we try out if that doesn't work, let's try this. And I get lost often by trying and not focusing, or patience. And only afterwards I realize what I had before. It's like in the moment when it's there, I do not see it. And that I think is something which defines me in a way, and also makes it for me possible to share it and to talk about it. And I'm a bit struggling to accept that I'm basically not the easy, straightforward, happy person that has no need to overthink but just lives. But I am not, and I want to see the beauty about that more and more and more, because it gives my family lots of beauty. Also, I think I'm a bit funnier with the kids than you. I think I'm very fun with them.
And that's what you're doing, keeping funny with our children. Then I am. Okay, did we say that was the last question?
Now I feel bad about myself.
No, it was fine. We could give them a